Hey, welcome back. Excuse me while I toss that on the shelf down there because it's garbage. Um, so in any case, thanks everybody for tuning back in. Of course, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I don't believe I've talked about this before, and if I have, please forgive me. We'll do a refresher course. So this is the clutch lever for the 4A. And I purchased it because it matches the other lever on the other side of the brakes. And the issue with this is there's a pin that goes in that hole right there, and you pull your lever back, you push the pin down, you let go of the clutch, and it stays disengaged, I guess it would be. And then you pull it back, the pin pops up, it's spring loaded, you let go of your clutch, there you go. The pin's not good. It's just the one that's in there from the factory is just not good. It doesn't hold it. It'll vibrate and rattle up, and then your clutch will engage for no reason at all. So I've been trying to 3D print one. I think I got it. This has gone through several R&D segments, I guess you could say, and I'm ready to test it. I'm not quite sure it's the final one just yet, because I really would like, to be honest with you, I really would like some kind of little catch on, now this, I don't know if I'll be able to show you this, but so, let me get my fingies out the way. So on this little piece here, the bottom of the clutch lever, or well, I guess the clutch lever sits, we'll say, right around in there, right? So on this part here, I would like to have like a little catch that comes out to the side and like prevents the lever from popping back up, because prevents this pin from popping back up, excuse me. The only way it will is if you obviously, of course, pull your clutch lever and then it'll boop. So, but I can't figure out a way to do that. I haven't yet, at least, because the hole's a specific size. This has to be a specific size in order for the inside part of there, in order for that to sit without falling back down. You can kind of, yeah, so that cutout there, that's where the pin sits normally, and it rests on this chunk here whenever you have it pulled back. Well, if the pin is too skinny, because I've made several others, so if the pin is too skinny, instead of holding it here, it'll just slip back into that little channel, and it'll be, long story short, nothing I've tried has worked thus far. So I just went back to the original design. This is, aside from being cut out of carbon fiber, this is what the original part looks like, right? And it's same size and dimensions and all that other stuff. So I'm hoping just the fact that it's carbon fiber, sort of a plastic material and not metal, that might help it grab a little bit more on the lever and prevent it from doing stuff, which, I mean, it appears, but we'll have to see. Really, we'll have to get it all back together. I got to put the spring back on. I got a little tiny screws and washers to help hold everything together. First though, I'm going to clean this up, and we'll come back when I'm ready for assembly, I guess. Well, good news, everyone. That didn't work. I mean, it works, but it doesn't work the way I want it to. So, hopefully you can see the problem with that. I feel as though maybe, because as you can see, like, that's what it's supposed to do, right? It is currently held open, and then you pull back on your clutch, little thing pops up, clutch goes in. That is exactly how it's supposed to work. My issue is is just how kind of easy it is to get that spring to jump at times. And yeah, I don't know, I just don't like it. I would prefer to only have this do anything at all if I do it. I don't know, maybe I can reinforce this spring here, maybe get another one of these kinds of springs maybe, and get something a little heftier. I don't even know where I would find a spring like that, to be honest with you. I don't know. We'll have to do some more looking. Well, so here we are in the garage. It is, my thermometer says 32. It's not as bad in here as it is out there, but we're only going to be out here for a little bit, so I'm not going to drag the salamander out and do all that stuff. Really, all I'm going to do, so I had an idea, and for this clutch lever, I'll take this all out again, and this, just the top hole on this, I'll drill it out, I'll waller it out a little bit so I can fit a bigger, sort of adjust how big, you know, I can have a little bit more play or breathing room when I design the new pin. We're just gonna do that real quick, and then we're going back in. We're going back in, kids. All right, well, no joke, we got that done as fast as possible. So we're back up where it's nice and warm. So I got this thing. I got this this clutch lever pulled completely apart, and I wallered out this hole a little bit. Just the top one. I didn't do the bottom one. Didn't touch the bottom one at all. And I believe I got an idea. Now I'll have to go into the program and sort of make changes to my little pin here. But however, I think I've come up with something in my head, at least, that's gonna work. I might need to revisit it and make some little changes here and there once I get the first one out. I'll know more, but I have to design the first one, get it printed out, and then test it. I don't know if that helped or hurt, but whatever. So after running it, like, I redesigned it, ran it, redesigned it, ran it, and then again, so 3 times there, since that last little segment that you guys saw. I think I got something. It still needs some fine-tuning, but I mean, you know, don't look a gift horse in the mouth, man. That's I need to get these screws tighter, but I have to take it back out because the fine-tuning. But yeah, it's way more sturdy. I was able to, since I hogged out that top hole, I was able to make the upper part of the pin just a little thicker to give it a little bit more bite. And then I also put a little ring that catches the bottom of the clutch. So even if it does pull back a tiny bit, that ring is still keeping pressure on this handle, preventing it from popping up. So I feel good about that. I'll take it all back apart and clean it up, fine tune it, get it put back together. I may honestly print another one, just because I noticed on this one, right, so on that one, if it'll focus, there we go, on this one, the around the thicker part here where the clutch actually hits it, or the clutch lever, excuse me, actually hits it, I noticed some denting, and I think that's because inside of this isn't a solid piece. I have of course my 2 little holes on either end for the little tiny screws, but in here In the thicker part here, it's not solid. It's got like a crisscross kind of pattern, and I've kind of been playing with it on my program here, and I've got it down to where there's that crisscross pattern is a lot more dense. So it's not quite solid, but it should offer a bit more protection without me having to wait, 30 minutes to print this, because some of the stuff does take some time. The screwdriver, the little stubby screwdriver handle that I made here, just this alone, minus the bearing of course, but just the actual part alone, this takes 20 minutes or 20, no, I think this one wound up almost being an hour, just because of how it is. I wanted it really, really fine detail, really solid, so you feel it in your hand when you pick it up. And then even still yet then, I'm going to run another one of these, because this is still just a prototype. So I'm going to run another one of these. It's a little longer, and the butt of it here, just the little end cap there, is going to be a little bit thicker around to feel a little bit better in your hand. And I'm going to redo the infill on this, just like I did on the little part, to be a bit more dense, so it'll be way more solid and overall a better quality piece, in my opinion. Enough rambling about that. I'm gonna get back on this. What I got here is just the front fender for the 4A. I still got some other work to do to the rear fender. I got these the fender supports that actually go down. These rest on your axle. These go on either side of your axle. On the on the rear fender, excuse me, we're all bent up, and this, to be honest, this one on the front one was pretty gnarled up too. I straightened it out. I probably could do a little bit better job, but I'm not. It doesn't have to be perfect, There's the bike's old, super old, so it's not gonna be perfect anyhow. Just better than it is. It's kind of what I'm shooting for. The one of these legs on the rear one is pretty chewed up, so I'm gonna have to beat on it, straighten it out, and once it gets straightened out, I went through and undercoated and painted these the same undercoating. I'll do that with the rear fender as well. We'll get to that. But for right now, I think just to round up the rest of this video, is these had, both the front and rear had a bunch of surface pitting, like it was starting to rust. And the front one I've gone through and I scratched that all off, but now I want to polish it to sort of, it doesn't have to be like brand new shiny or anything like that, but give it a little bit more shine than it does currently have. I'd be okay with that. I figured I'd give you guys a before and after, like a time-lapse kind of thing, maybe throw a little music on or something. So just the best look I can give you right now, right? Feel good about it? I do. Good. I'm glad we all agree. So I got a cloth to wipe the excess stuff off. I got what is this? Malco. I probably didn't say that right. Super Duty Heavy Cut Compound. I've seen a couple guys use this before, and it seemed to do the job they were trying to do. So I'll dab that on the spot. I got my Dremel tool here with the buffer pad on it, and we're just gonna go to town for a little bit. don't go outside. Now they can see you. Excuse me while I wipe all the crap off my face. After just the one pass, I could see just a little bit more of what I'm looking for. You know, that chrome shine. I might go over the whole fender one more time, maybe at least. See how I feel about it then. That heavy cut compound did a little bit more than I was expecting it to, which is good because I got turtle wax polishing compound, different kind, and that I could see what it was doing, but it wasn't doing it fast enough for me. But that might be an end stage product or a final application product, you know, before you just kind of wipe it down and call it a day. Well, so yeah. Well, like I said, I'll do this. I'll run over this at least one more time. I won't record it because it's not, you know, a bunch of time lapse and that stuff is kind of boring. So we'll hit this a few more times and then see where we can go from there. Well, we're finally back out in the garage. For the time being, at least, it's supposed to be a little warmer this week, so we might be able to get out here and tinker on some stuff. I got last night, I polished on the front fender a bit, and it's not brand new, you know, but it's way better than it was. And I might even still run over, because this was just the heavy cut compound, and so I might still run over it with the turtle wax polish, maybe a couple times, just a handful of times, see if I can get any more life out of it or not. But it's good enough as it is, to be honest with you, for right now, because I still have a whole nother fender to do. So let me clean up the bench a little bit, and we'll see what we're doing. You just saw me on the time lapse there. I went through and straightened that out. It's not perfectly straight. It'll be fine. It's okay. So now, I guess what I'm gonna do real quick is I'll scratch down the bottom of this. Just get it cleaned up, nice. I'm not gonna worry too much about the front side. It's still very, very gnarly. I don't know if I'll be able to show it too well. Yeah, you can kind of see just all the bits there. It's like that all over pretty much. It's not too bad, but it's bad enough, you know. So I'm not gonna worry about that for right now. I'm just gonna focus on doing the underside. I don't know if I'm willing to take the chance on spraying the undercoating on it today, just because it's cold. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. In light of better judgment, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was thinking about painting this, like doing the undercoating. However, I'm also remembering what happened the last time that I painted when it was this cold. So I think I'll just go ahead and pop the brakes there. We got a pretty good dent knocked out of the work for the fenders. There was kind of a little bit of work here that I did like off camera that you guys didn't necessarily see. Like most of straightening out this leg on the rear fender, most of that I did off camera, just really quick, running back and forth in between, where it's warm and out in the shop. And then I polished the I polished the front fender up. That came out pretty good. Like I said, I might hit this maybe 1 or 2 times with some super fine polishing compound just to see if I can bring a little bit more out of it, but I don't know, I'm pretty happy where it's at. The next video, we'll finish this up, and then I don't know, man, from there maybe, who knows, maybe we might try work on the frame again, get that sanded back down. We'll see what happens. I want to thank everybody for watching. Catch you in the next one.